What's up, y'all? Y'all already know what time it is. You already know what time it is. Time to spend a little time with me. So go ahead on. Log on in. Kick your feet up. And prepare to be amazed. But no, for real. I started going live or whatever. So I decided this time I'll take a little time to at least introduce myself to those who may not know, because I am looking to build new community. But I'm Zay. Some people call me Maxie. Some people call me Xavier. Some people call me by my government name. But no matter what you call me, the most important thing to realize is I'm your holistic homie, and I'm here to hop all up in your energy. Okay? Not only am I hopping your energy, but we're going to raise it up just a little bit. Few things about me, just so I can set the precedence about who this video is for. I'm not a people pleaser. So if you are a people pleaser, this is probably not the video or live for you. We do not encourage sheeple to tap into our energy around here. We like independent thought. We like people who go against the grain and who don't necessarily fit the status quo. So call it a place for outcasts. Be it so. I consider myself an outcast in many spaces, so we don't people please over here. Also, no complacency. If you cool with being the same person that you were yesterday, with no inspiration on being better, this might not be the space for you either. So just keep that in mind as well. No stagnancy. If you just cool with today and you're not really focused on how you can improve your tomorrow, this might not be the space for you as well. And lastly, no know-it-alls, me included. I'm here to learn from y'all just as much as I plan on sharing a lot of my knowledge with you. So come in with an open heart and an open mind. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't resonate. It's cool. Everything isn't for everybody. But just don't be a hater and don't be a Debbie Downer. Because we encourage good vibes only around here. So if you tap in, at least say hey or something. Like, don't just come in and, be a wallflower. Feel free to insert your opinion, insert your expertise. Because we are experts when it comes down to our individual lives. Cool. But with that being said, all things with love, peace, and just collective ascension. If we ain't growing, what are we doing? We're dying. But as long as you come in with a good vibe, I'm sure you'll leave with something that'll bless you. I had some downloads today. I want to be more intentional. So I prayed and I'm like, Lord, what's some things that we need to be focused on or whatever for the week or the weekend? And I'm going to share those things with you. We're going to pull a few of these cards like I like to do just to get up in your business a little bit more. But like I said, kick back, relax, and enjoy the spectacle of Maxie as I get all up in your energy. Cool. Download 1. Who are you to think that you don't have to carry out the mission that God has called you to do? The audacity. And I also, as I speak to you, I speak to myself because I do find myself guilty of putting things that I know I should be doing on the back burner to do the things that make me comfortable. But we do not have the luxury of putting God's plan on the back burner because He'll get you to do what He needs you to do one way or another. But I would suggest that we just go ahead on and lock in and tap in and to do the things that we need to do by removing all the fear. And of course, cliche, fear is false evidence appearing real, of course. But we have to have the courage to put that fear on the back burner, to chase our dreams and do the things that God has told us to do. Second download. There might be somebody that's secretly in love with you, but the thing that's stopping that person from pursuing you is that they may be holding on to a love that they have for someone else. And that's something that we don't necessarily like to accept, because when we meet someone, we want them to be what we want them to be. But an unhealed heart just can't hold the capacity to love a new love. Like, it could be a lust or infatuation, but that person that you are obsessed with may be obsessed with someone else. And for some reason, they feel like that's the cat and mouse whole scope of things when it comes down to dating. You could be head over heels over someone that doesn't even notice you, while that person is chasing somebody that doesn't even notice them. But as I was thinking about that, a song had popped up. It was The Weeknd, SZA. And of course, it's a song about somebody taking the weekend to go be with their like second lover. It's like, it's cool, you keep him through the week, but you send him to me on the weekend and I'll take care of him, etc., etc. Very low vibrational, but I love it. Shout out to SZA. Her music is awesome, and congratulations on those wins. But anyway, another song that came on, Power Trip. So it could be a power thing. I'm thinking maybe somebody is love bombing you as a way to cope with the hurt that they're feeling due to the heartbreak that they have encountered under somebody else's watch. So pay attention to how people treat you and how their energy makes you feel, but don't allow your energy to be negatively swayed because someone else has some things going on that they're not willing to talk to you about or tell you. Cool. The next download I got was, your ministry will be successful. And I'm not up here to Bible thump. I'm not up here to preach to you in a traditional way. What I'm here to do is encourage you to think outside of the box. And when I think about ministries, I think about whatever you do that allows you to use your talents to bless others. Your ministry could be, you may be a phenomenal hairstylist. You may be a makeup artist. You may be a motivational speaker. You may have a nonprofit. Your ministry can be many things. So it doesn't have to be limited to a religious outreach. But that doesn't mean that it can't be that. I think as a person who has been in marginalized communities, sometimes we don't take our own spirituality serious because everybody else think that we're a joke because they think they know us so well. But no one knows what God does for you or how God works through you. So your story is important. Your ministry matters. And no matter what it is, it will be successful. If you believe in your ministry will be successful. But if you do not believe in yourself, there's no way you can manifest greatness. So be confident in knowing that whatever your ministry is, it will be successful. All right, my next thing was somebody snitched on you. It was somebody that you were dealing with on a intimate level. Again, yesterday I was talking about sleeping with the enemy. And a lot of times our enemy is much closer than we realize. And I've never been the type of person that could lay with someone that I am envious of. Like, if I am dealing with you on an intimate level, I genuinely see something in you. My soul genuinely feels some type of connection or tie to you. Even on a hookup, like, I am not the type of person to just want to exchange my soul with anybody for any reason. But if I see something or feel a familiarity in you, then yes, the comfortability rises from there. But as a community, we have become so, manipulative in our approaches to love because we all come in to gain something rather than to really genuinely love on somebody or to be an asset to that person's life. We looking for our next come up or the next person that's going to pay our bills or the next person that's going to lick our big toe and make our ear tingle. But sometimes people will say what they need to say to get what they need to get. And you don't know how many other people they're saying the same thing too. So watch your heart, because when you let your guard down, sometimes that's when the enemy can attack you quicker and harder. My last random download that I had earlier today was to let you know that the debt is paid, like whatever the debt may be. And I was thinking of this from several standpoints: financial debt, spiritual debt, karmic debt. A lot of us are living in a space where we're digging out of the hole. We are digging out of the hole. We are trying to keep our head above the water. We are trying to right some of our wrongs and our past mistakes. But whatever it is, if you believe today and you agree with us, the debt can be paid. You just have to genuinely have the faith. I know that we are going through a season of spiritual warfare where faith is being tested on all levels, whether it's faith in your Yes. Hey, Morris. How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the live. And yes, Jesus paid it all. I say that all the time. When bill collectors, I ain't gonna let y'all out in my business like that though. But Jesus paid it all, and I don't worry about none of it. But no, seriously, the debt is paid, and the debt can be paid from many ways. Sometimes we think too hard about the financial thing that's presented before us, the money that we need to take care of those things. But sometimes God can wipe things out in ways that you won't even realize or understand. You know, it could be a random friend that just want to pay your mortgage for a month, or it could be a stranger. It could be a rebate. There are many things that can come about that can bless you if you just remain open, keep your faith, and believe that God can do all things. All right? So those are the downloads. We're going to start out with our little prayer and scripture from the cards like we do. See what the tone for today's message is going to be given. And like you know, I'm not going to be on here long. So like if you tap in, stay in. Like I get to say hello, like the live, and let me know that you're here. But today we have Psalm 37:37. And it says, look at those who are honest and good, for a wonderful future awaits those who love peace. Perfect way to start the message. Again, look at those who are honest and good, for a wonderful future awaits those who love peace. Psalms 37:37. Our prayer, Lord, be in charge of my future. I don't want my dreams if you are not in them. I do not want to make plans that you will not bless. I don't want to get to the end of my life and regret the time I spent not living for you. Amen. So yes, God is calling us to do more, not just for our communities, for ourselves, for Him. Cool. So we're going to pull some of these oracle cards that I made for the past 3 years, you know. Some of them are uplifting, some of them talk a little junk, but whatever come up, just take what resonate, leave the rest. First, the old beliefs are not valid in this new world. I was having a conversation with a religious scholar, and we were talking about how did the Bible end, or, you know, like, are there current disciples, are there current books being written, are there current stories being told, are there current prophets? And you know, a lot of times we base everything on what we were taught. And my friend was like, old beliefs are not valid in this new world. Encouraging us to love how we love, express our spirituality, how we express our spirituality, praise how we praise, get to know our culture, but grow beyond old beliefs and set new traditions and new beliefs, because God is not through doing great things on the earth. Like, why are we so subservient that we can't do amazing things? Why are we so subservient that we can't perform miracles and we can't heal and we can't hear God? So, old beliefs not valid in the new world. All right, let's see. We're going to shuffle up these so we get a little random pool or whatever. I want to sing bias. But again, as you come in, make sure you like the live. Hey, Terrence, welcome. And I love all my supporters, y'all. I don't care if it's one person or 1,000 people. If you rock with me, I rock with you. So if you have things going on, endeavors going on, please know that I'll support you as well. We have a comment. We are writing the Third Testament. Someone said that to me, and I have loved differently since that statement. No, I definitely touch and agree with that. And I try to encourage people to not just be sold on what you've been told, because there's still more of the story left to unfold. See, I be freestyling and y'all don't even know how I get down. Just kidding. This next card is Sacral Chakra. Which is cool. We dipping into religious, but also esoteric beliefs. So what do we know about our sacral chakra? Firstly, it's located below the navel, right below your navel. Colors that are beneficial for your sacral chakra are like vibrant orange. Sacral chakras contribute to your interpersonal relationships and emotions. They also, your sacral chakra is tied to your sexual expression, ovaries and testes. So sacral chakras, if you don't know your chakras, I encourage you to learn them. And the coolest thing about them is they align with the colors of the rainbow. So, whatever chakra it is, if there's a lack or deficit in that area, if you focus on that color by like eating foods of that color or wearing clothes of that color, it tends to help heal the energy in that area. But sacral chakra is important. That's your baby making energy. So we want to make sure that we are focused on taking care of that, because we have demonized sexuality in such a way. But toxic sexuality is what we should demonize. Because no, you can't do everything with everybody. Well, you shouldn't. You can do what you want to do, but you shouldn't do everything with everybody. All right, moving forward. Now that we learned a little bit more about our sacral chakras, and like, I'm just here to kind of like take the band-aid off of things and get you to think a little bit deeper. But it's still your responsibility to go and do your own research. Like, don't just listen to what I say. I mean, it's wise to listen to what I say, but don't just listen to what I say. I encourage you to do your own research. And if there are things that you want me to look into, or if there are things that you can point me towards that I can share with the collective, please feel free to do so. This next card says the law of sacred delay. And I was thinking when I wrote this card about the old time song about he's been an on time God. He may not come when you want him, but he be there right on time. The law of sacred delay. Sometimes you're not ready to receive the blessing that you're praying for, or the relationship that you're praying for, or the job or opportunity that you're praying for. Maybe you haven't done your homework, or maybe God is just holding you in isolation until the environment is ready to receive you in the proper way. But there's something beautiful about delay, because usually God is doing something behind the scenes that we don't see. But if you have faith to not question what God is doing, and your faith is unwavering, and you just stick with it, that delay will come with some results, and then it'll all make sense. But just know that there's a law of sacred delay where God is just holding you and keeping you until things are just right. This next card says balance your shadow. It's something I do quite often. Even with being a spiritual person, you can't be too good to everybody all the time. You'll get used. You'll be perceived as weak. No one would take you seriously. So sometimes you have to put your foot down to set boundaries, have balance. You have to tap into your shadow side and let folks know not to play with you. Because even when it come down to angels, some angels come to just give messages. Some of them have swords. Some of them have wings. Some of them have one eye and spinning wheels. Whatever the reason, God allows us to show up in certain ways to handle certain things. So you have to be able to balance your shadow. A lion still needs to know when to protect the cub, but that don't mean that you need to go roaring all through the jungle and biting random people. But you need to know how to take care of your home. So balancing out your shadow is something positive. And that also can tie into balancing out your feminine and masculine energy. Some of us too afraid to tap into our feminine side. Some of us are too complacent to tap into our masculinity. So balance. That's more important piece of the card. Balance. I can see the sun peeping through the clouds. This was my grandma's favorite gospel song. The storm is almost gone. And it's funny because a lot of my cards are based on religious texts and gospel stuff. Because I grew up in the church. And I've never parted from Christ since then. I've learned a lot, but in school I was able to study multiple religions around the world, so I have a more open mind about things. But as long as you can keep the faith, know that the sun is going to shine again. The darkest hour is right before day. But if you just keep your head up, the storm must end. Christ is risen. I like this because it makes me think of Easter and how Jesus rose again. When we think about Christ is risen, we think about Christ's consciousness, and we think about the Christ that's within us that allows us to connect directly to source, directly to the divine, directly to God, the Most High. But there's something happening in communities of color where people are starting to think a little more abstractly. People are starting to wake up and starting to encounter and experience different parts of their spirituality that they never have in a more deeper way. But Christ is risen. If you know, you know. That's something we could talk about offline. We're going to move forward. Don't be afraid to step out on faith. You know, even with me going live and stuff like that, it's to encourage you to get out and use your voice. Like I said, everything not for everybody. And some other people that you think would support you because they know you so well and they've known you for so long, they the ones that's peeping and like won't even like something, won't even subscribe even when it's free, won't even share your videos. But every time Dick and Harry they post a fart joke or a food eating video or a twerk challenge, they're gonna share that with no hesitation. And sometimes I sit back and I'm like, is that really what you like? Is that what you're really into? Like this foolishness. There's some people I've never seen them share anything of substance or support anybody in their circle. Yet those same people that are in their circle support everything that they do. No matter if you got one person supporting you, 1,000 people or 1,000,000 people, you step out on faith and you do your thing because God trumps all of that support. If you got God on your side, 1,000 friends can fall to the wayside and they can't do what God can do. And I don't believe me, just try them for yourself. And then you'll be able to testify as well. But if you have tried them and you know, comment below because like we have to start fighting back in this war. Like we let all the foolishness win. Like we let all the toxicity of our community really set the precedents for how we show up. We don't show up like kings and queens. We show up like bums and vagabonds. Next card, Virgo. Somebody might be a Virgo. Somebody might be dealing with a Virgo. Something might happen in Virgo season. But Virgo. I'm not a Virgo. I'm an Aquarius. Yes, you plus God is the majority. You know, ain't no 3/5 vote when it come down to God, baby, because what he said gonna be. And when you get on his side, it could be 1,001 against you. You'll still win the fight. You know, and that's why we're given stories like David and Goliath to give us strength. Because in many spaces, we are the underdogs. In many spaces, we are taught that we are too weak. Or we are taught that we can't stand or we can't fight back. And that keeps us crippled. Next card, the Bayaka Fatherhood. I was watching some National Geographic stuff the other day. No, I'm lying. I was watching, it's like this show, like amazing top 10s or top 25s or whatever. But it was like something, about this tribe. They were very unique because in this tribe, the fathers are very nurturing. They're caregivers. They don't rough play with their children. They even breastfeed their children to console and comfort them. And I thought that was very insightful because in America, we're taught that manhood looks a certain way, fatherhood looks a certain way, discipline and authoritarianship looks a certain way. But when you research things going around the world, things that we view as feminine here in America are viewed as strong, masculine, and dominant in other places around the world. So don't be ashamed to be a little softer in your approach when you handle, especially the youth of tomorrow. Because sometimes we handle them so aggressively, not realizing that they have lives, they have feelings, they have opinions, they have emotions. And we should hear them out and get to know them as well because they are little people. Just a couple more, y'all. Then we're going to switch decks because I can't be on here all night. I do have dinner to make. Time for fun. You work hard all the time. Have some fun. Stop working all the time. Take a break. Go out to eat. Go to the coffee shop. Go on a date. Go get your hands, your nails, and your feet done. Like, go do something nice for yourself. I know for my birthday, I'm going to go to the float spa. If you haven't gone to a float spa, I would highly suggest it. It's a egg-shaped dome that has about 5 inches of water, maybe less in the bottom, but it's extremely saturated with salt. So you float, and you just float for an hour. They have lights if you want lights. They have music if you want music. But I'm going to the one in McDonough. It's a float spa. I'm not going to tell you when I'm going because I don't want you to try to be there. But it's an awesome experience. It's very relaxing. And even, well, no, I'll let you experience it for yourself. All right. This card says, forgive and live. Don't let regret hold you back to the point where you are mad about something and everybody else is moving on with their lives. You so mad that you the one that's staying in the house. You so mad that you the one that cut everybody off. You so mad that, you decide to hide under a rock because you're mad at somebody that's out having fun. And that's not cool. Even when somebody disappoints you or somebody try your nerves, you smile, you move on, and you show them that they didn't get to you by living your best life. May I manifest those things in which all of me truly desires to be. Never stop planting. I'm country, y'all. I'm from Mississippi. I'm trying to enunciate my words a bit better. Never stop planting. Never stop sowing seeds. Never stop chasing your dreams. Because if you just keep everything slow and steady, you win your race. Alright, so we're going to pull a couple from the West Gossip cards. Because, I like what they look like. They fun. And it helps me diversify the type of people I can connect with. Alright, gonna shuffle up a little bit. Hey Cam, what's up? Long time no see, my God. I miss you tremendously. Shout out to my boy on the West Coast. Alright, y'all, so just a few of these. Gonna be out. Gonna be out. Tap out your business. Boom, what we got here? Friend zone. Oh, y'all. One of my friends stopped talking to me because of this very reason. Everybody ain't meant to be your lover, y'all. Everybody not meant to be your lover. And sometimes we will cheat a person out of an amazing friendship because of our own selfish, salacious wants and needs. I got a friend now that I have wanted since the day I met them, and it's been like a no from jump. So it's just like, that's what it is. But we still friends because I respect the boundaries. But again, it ties to that cat and mouse chasing. Like, who you want might not want you, and who they want probably don't want them. But just because somebody put you in a friend zone doesn't mean that you should pull away from the friendship, because that means you went in with negative intent. We can't be me and folks friends because we think we're going to be able to sleep with them. Like, that's not cool. But here it says platonic trap, unreciprocated. I like unrequited. That's my word. I was listening to some good music and unrequited had got sent me. Stuck as friends. You're like a sibling. That's it. That brother. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Knowing that the only thing stopping you from being lover is the B and the R in front of that word. I mean, and some other letters, but whatever. Divine timing came out again. We talked about this yesterday, but all things in divine timing. That person that might have been your friend might grow out of the friend zone, and they might see you in a different light and actually fall in love with you, propose to you, and live happily ever after. Who knows? You might have been in the friend zone all of this time, and that person might finally see you. Because as the years pass, we grow and we evolve and we become better versions of ourselves. So, but don't sit around waiting on your friend to fall in love with you. Like, nah, that's not healthy. That's toxic. But if it naturally happens and organically unfolds, then embrace it and enjoy it. Alright. So, boom, next. When we got started, first thing I said, I was about love, peace, and ascension. Ascension, word of the evening. Ascension is spiritual growth, higher awareness, next level consciousness, elevating myself. You know, when the only competition that you have is with yourself, you can't help but win when you ascend. You see that? That's that freestyle. Now, I told y'all I got bars for days. But ascension is important. Anything that's not growing is dying. You know, I even look at it like biblically when God saw that beautiful plant. It was like, oh, this plant ain't got no fruit on it. Boop. Dive plant. And then he struck the plant down. Because if you ain't growing, what are you doing? So let your fruit show before you get struck down. I'm just kidding, but like metaphorically, seriously. Again, glow up popping out again. And when it comes out consistently in messages, sometimes it's something that you need to hear. Your ascension comes with a natural glow up because your outside is a representation of what's going on inside of you. So as you grow, as you heal, you start to glow and it starts to permeate from the inside out. People look like what they've been through sometimes, and they say that that's why some other cultures tend to age in different ways because of different reasons. But if you living right, drinking your water, and minding your business, your glow up will just naturally shine from within. But the card says self-improvement, finding your confidence, and personal transformation, better than ever. Goal of mine as I approach 39 is to be better than ever. More articulate, more charming, more persuasive, more seductive. Just fully embracing the glow up. All right. Poker face. It's time to hold your cards close to your chest. Stop smiling at everybody's face and let them know that it's business time. Don't let nobody know your next move. This card says, hide your true feelings. Impossible to read. Emotionally detached. You would, excuse me, you will never know. And things about these cards is, it may be you, or it may be somebody tied to you. It may be your energy, or it may be an energy that you are experiencing. But somebody ain't telling the truth. Somebody hiding something. Somebody keeping a straight face. And I laugh a lot of times because my friends feel like, you should smile more. You should smile more. I smile, but it's usually when I'm being sarcastic or kind of crass, or when I'm trying to be charming. But when it's time to talk about business, I don't allow the truth to be hidden with a smile. I just like to tell it like it is. So poker face comes in handy. Ghosted. Did you ghost somebody? Have you ghosted somebody? Ghosting people is very low vibrational, y'all know. In 2026, let's be mature enough to tell people that we're not interested in them. Okay? All right, this card says, sudden disappearance without explanation. Left hanging. Seen but ignored. Abrupt silence. All I say is if you courageous enough to build the rapport with somebody where they could even notice that you ghosted them, be courageous enough to tell them that it's just not a vibe no more, or it's just not what you want anymore. But ghosting people, very low vibrational. So 0 stars, highly not recommended. All right, we're going to pull just a couple more. We're going to get up out of here, y'all. Got things to do this evening. Just a couple more. Again, toxic love. Be careful. If somebody ghosted you, God probably moved them out the way. Sometimes, like when I stop talking to people, I never see them again. And it's not because they don't exist or because like other people don't run across them. But I pray that God don't allow me to run across people that don't have my best interest or well-being at heart. Or people that I might pop off on. Because I ain't been saved all my life and I'm still a work in progress. But I don't put myself in triggering situations because I'm mature enough to know that I deserve better than that. And I am not afraid to break cycles. End harmful patterns. Freedom from repetition. New beginnings. It has to stop with you. You have to make the conscious decision that you want to do better. And last but not least, we have, let's see. Oops. It says retirement goals. Like, ain't nobody out here trying to be in love like we teenagers. We're trying to build a foundation that you can retire. You know, like I know me personally, I'm not trying to be in my later years figuring out my romantic situation, figuring out my finances. I want to have some things already clear, like my throat. All right, and before we leave, I'm going to leave you with a calm the chaos card. So, like, whatever going on in your life, this card ask you to pause and reflect for a moment. So let's see what we got. This card says, miracles happen every day. All right, miracles happen every day. And that's something very important to remember. As we were saying earlier, God is not finished blessing people. God is not finished working miracles in our lives. Miracles happen every day. The card reads, in this crazy and chaotic world, it's easy to focus on what's wrong and what's not working. But wondrous things are unfolding all around you in every moment of every day. If you keep your eyes and heart open, you will begin to see them. The sun rising, a baby taking their first steps, the right person showing up at the right time in the right way. As you make your way through your day, look for evidence of the miracles that surround you. When you take a moment to notice everyday miracles, it will help you refocus on all the good and beauty in the world. So again, take time to focus on the miracles that are in your life every day. And also take some time to be a miracle in somebody's life. This was fun, short and sweet. I just want to hop in, say hey. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for your support. Thank you for your love. Remember, go check out my YouTube page, Maxie Hart. Like and subscribe, share. As we try to raise the vibrations and frequencies together, I pray you have a great evening. And I'm going to talk to you next time.